Hello guys, can you believe that it is now 76 years since the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was signed by world leaders? On this day, we are reminded of the truth that was enshrined in the Declaration, namely, human rights are for you and me, about justice for all and justice for all, about your protection and freedom of expression according to the rule of law. Human rights do not belong to any political party, region, or political class. They belong to all of us, to all advocates and preachers of truth and justice, to those being oppressed for their courage and tenacity to speak truth to power, both the young and the old alike. Human rights do not belong to animals and pets owned by the elite. They belong to the caregivers, to your chefs, to your drivers, etc. This year's theme, Our Rights, Our Future, Right Now, reminds us that the full promise of human rights is yet to be fulfilled. The most recent evidence is in Nigeria, where Dele Farotimi, a finest and seasoned attorney and renowned rule of law and justice reform advocate, is being incarcerated, rough-handled, and oppressed by the Nigerian government for exposing the rot in the Nigerian system. In his book, Nigeria and its criminal justice system, I encourage us to get a copy of this book in Amazon and any other publishing house. I will paste the publishing house on this I will paste the names of the publishers on the screen for those who would like to grab a copy. Okay? And by so doing, you are contributing to the foundation created in Nigeria for kids with autism, as the proceeds from the book go to the foundation. There are too many Dele Farotimis in our world today, especially in Africa, Asia, and Middle East. As we join the UN to commemorate this day, as the UN invites us to stay the course, I challenge them to take the lead in mobilizing action. I challenge them to use their machineries and resources in working with human rights fighters who risk their lives to challenge the political rascality and high-handedness of African rulers and beyond. The UN must ensure that the basic asset of democracy, namely rule of law, is accessible for all. Enough of this rhetoric. It is time to do the talk.
I have told you
Hashtag free Dele.
The facts are inside the court's own records, notoriously. So if people are not happy with what I have said, that's their problem. But it's not about their person, it's about the situation, the system that has allowed such levels of abuse. We cannot have a system that regulates impunity and then that licenses men to act as though they are gods and citizens ourselves that they can simply trample upon their head and then use the courts to legitimize the evil. No.
So you are saying what you have inferred in this book to me looks like a frustration of a lawyer who has seen the worst case scenario of what could have happened in any justice system, even in hell. And you have said, look, anybody who goes to find justice in the Nigerian system is a sheer waste of time. Does that represent your position after all said and done?
To a very large extent, you are correct, but I need to, because there are nuances to these things as well. Number one, it would be disingenuous of me to suggest that it is the evils that I saw in the system that led me to walk away from legal practice. That will not be true. I had already decided I was leaving when I turned 50. what happened in this case happened, I think, in 2013. So it's a story that took, no, 2012, 2013 is a story that took almost 12 years to write. So even after it had happened, I remained in practice for, I think, another 5 years before retiring. So it wasn't because of this. But when it comes to the truthfulness of your assertion that I had become disenchanted with the capacity of the system to deliver anything of value, you are completely correct. It had become clear to me that the Nigerian judicial system is completely unfit for purpose. Look, United Nations Office for Drug and Crimes was very clear in his indictment of the Nigerian judicial system. He says it is corrupt, horribly corrupt. That is not me. It is now my own experience. You know, when you are talking in abstracts and you are talking about the corruption of the judiciary, you are still speaking abstractly. What I have done is to offer my own first-hand experience within the system. I have merely spoken to what I saw within the system, what I witnessed. So where the United Nations Office for Drug and Crime can speak generally and in broad terms, where Mr. Shofunde could speak about the Supreme Court having become perfunctory with his judgment. I'm quoting him. Supreme Court judgment has become perfunctory. This is not, those are not rabble rousers. You can say Dele Farotimi is not well, he's a rabble rouser. Those are not Dele Farotimi. Those are individuals and institutions to whom you can at least ascribe some measure of temperance, unlike me. So that's what it is.